Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jamie Jaquez Jr. accidentally upsets Jimmy Butler's agent by touching Stanley Cup, bad luck. Miami Heat youngster Jamie Jaquez Jr. was recently recorded touching the Stanley Cup, and that seemed to perturb Bernie Lee, the agent of Heat star Jimmy Butler. Lee explained that it's bad luck to touch the NHL's ultimate prize and added that many NBA players don't seem to know that. The Florida Panthers are the reigning Stanley Cup champions. The Panthers won their first Stanley Cup in franchise history after the team beat the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games in the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals. It's worth noting that Florida almost had a collapse of historic proportions in its best-of-7 series against the Oilers, though. The Panthers led the series 3-0 at one point, but the Oilers responded by winning games 4, 5 and 6 in order to force a deciding Game 7. Ultimately, Florida avoided a total implosion, as the Panthers won Game 7 by a score of 2-1 to clinch the Stanley Cup. While the Panthers succeeded in their quest for a Stanley Cup last season, another professional sports team in the state of Florida, the Heat, has yet to win a title since the start of the decade, even though the squad has come close to reaching the NBA's mountaintop on more than one occasion in recent years. The Heat have made the NBA Finals twice since the calendar flipped to 2020. First, Miami reached the 2020 NBA Finals, where it lost to LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games. Fast forward a few years to the 2023 NBA playoffs, and the Heat represented the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals once again. But Miami was clearly outmatched against the Denver Nuggets in the championship series, and the Heat were eliminated in 5 games. Jaquez is likely hoping that he will help the Heat reach another NBA Finals and finish the job this time around in the upcoming season. He averaged 11.9 points, 3.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.0 steal per contest in 75 games played during the 2023-24 regular season, his rookie season. Superstitious Heat fans should knock on wood in hopes that Jaquez's decision to touch the Stanley Cup will not come back to haunt the team. Miami Heat forward Jamie Jaquez Jr. seems to think his role on the defensive end of the floor could grow to a point where he's tasked with defending the best player on the opposing team. I think obviously with losing Caleb Martin this year, I think there's definitely going to be a hole to be filled when it comes to the defensive side of the ball and a guy that can really go out there and stop the other team's best player or whoever's got it going that night, Jaquez said of potentially stepping in as a defensive closer. I think my role can definitely evolve into somebody who coach just decides, hey, Jamie, I want you to go guard the best player and chase him and stop him. I think that's the way my role can evolve. Jaquez also said that he learned a lot from instances when he had to guard some of the better players in the NBA last season when he was a rookie. Antoine Walker, LeBron James waited for hours to play with Michael Jordan during summer workout. Antoine Walker spoke on the Forgotten Seasons podcast recently and discussed Michael Jordan's summer workouts. He noted that LeBron James, who was 16 years old at the time, would have to wait for hours to get the chance to play with Michael Jordan, as there were much more tenured, senior players ahead of him in the pecking order. I'm watching MJ come back, Ron Artest is guarding him, and cracked his rib, trying to get him back. Just guarding him. The toughness with which you have to play with, it was different. I remember LeBron came up there, he couldn't even get in, it was that thick. Granted, he was young, 16 to 17, but he couldn't get in. We were at UCLA, we had 30 pros. LeBron James told this story a few years ago, speaking about the chance he got to play alongside Michael Jordan during those workouts. The timelines may be slightly different, as LeBron claimed he was a rookie in the league, but James was thrilled to be playing on the same team as his hero, even if it was for a scrimmage. That's Michael Jordan's camp in Santa Barbara. We were on the same team then. I was a rookie in the league and I went to Santa Barbara, to MJ's camp, and we used to play around 9 p.m., the camp would end. He would let the kids watch the first game around like 8:30, and then he had all the kids leave, and then we would stay along with the college kids that he would invite to the games as well. We would get a good run in for about an hour, hour 15. So, yeah, I was on a team with MJ and we didn't lose a game. There is no denying that if there was any footage of these games with Michael Jordan and LeBron James on the same team, that footage would be worth its weight in gold today. To be able to see the two defining players of basketball on the same team would be a sight to behold for fans all over the world. Shaq reveals Kobe Bryant promise he made to Heat's Dwayne Wade. When Hall of Famer center Shaquille O'Neal left Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers to join Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat in 2004, he had one goal: winning a championship. That's precisely what happened in their second season together. Shaq and Wade led the Heat to an NBA title against Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks in 2006. O'Neal recently joined the OG's podcast with Udonis Haslem and Mike Miller, revealing his conversation with Wade about his falling out with Bryant in LA. First thing I did when I came to Miami, I said, "Look, you heard a lot about me. That ain't going to happen with me and you. This is your team. I'ma help you, I'm a graduate, and I don't want them to call this no Shaq versus D Wade," O'Neal said. "It's your already. I came here because of you, because I need a like you to help me get one more." So, me and him never had a problem. After winning 3 consecutive championships, 1999 to 2002, O'Neal, Bryant, and the Lakers lost 4-2 to the San Antonio Spurs in the conference semifinal round in 2003, before losing 4-1 to the Detroit Pistons in the 2004 NBA Finals. The back-to-back disappointing postseason appearances caused a rift between the two, forcing management to choose a side before trading O'Neal to the Heat. Shaquille O'Neal remained honest with Dwayne Wade, especially during Game 3 of the 2006 NBA Finals after the Dallas Mavericks were on the verge of taking a 3-0 lead. Shaq reminded his former Heat teammate and podcast host, Udonis Haslem, "I think the first time we all jumped on him was after the finals when we went down 0-2, and he's looking for us, and we're like, nah, go to work. I got 4 people on me, and I'm not playing well. Go to work." And then the next 4 games, it was crazy. He just took off. That's the difference. But they were all great. I played with a lot of great guards. Steve Nash was another one. Rondo was another one. I'm just glad I had the opportunity to play with guys like that. He took over the next 4 games and led us to the championship. That's the difference between Wade and others. He had it from the beginning, and I respected him for it. Wade won 2 more championships with the Heat in 2012 and 2013, alongside LeBron James and Chris Bosh. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Shaquille O'Neal? Leave your opinion in the comments.